an absolute privilege and honor today to have a discussion for an extended time with the leaders of the new era of SA hip hop, where they claim that they are here to stay. V.I and Hāzy.
Yes, sir.
Welcome, boys. What an honor. Thank you for being here.
Yeah, for sure, of course. It's a pleasure to be here, man.
Thank you for having us, dog.
Word.
Ahead of your album, which I believe is historic and iconic for the reasons we're going to, further discuss in this long extended conversation. How has that been, the process of getting down together, producing and recording and all those different things that you do that we know are really difficult to do if you don't have the skill and the determination. So could you just discuss and briefly share how this album came about in the first place?
So this album came about very organically.
Yeah,
For one, it came about very organically, very naturally. It was an instinct for us to be like, okay, it's album time. We were just having fun in studio, trying to figure it out, recording some music, making some beats. We recorded this one song, the first song, Stuck in the Middle. Nah? That's
Track number what?
track 8, I think.
8. Okay.
go ahead.
Nah?
Yeah.
Track 8 and 9. Track 8 and 9. That was the first song we had. It was so good. We were like, nah, this can't be a single.
What year is that?
This is 2021 August.
Okay.
Yeah.
This is August last year. So the song was so good, dog. Couldn't stop listening to it. We lived with it for a while. We recorded it. Hey, it was a dope record.
Yeah.
Sharp couple days, couple weeks. I was like, nah, dog, I can't stop listening to the song. Via's also like, yo, me too.
Yeah.
I have to play the song like 6 times back to back before I can be okay. And even then, I'm still not okay. So
it was an obsession with one song that really started off, is what I'm hearing.
Yeah. And then
I guess you could put it that way.
Yeah.
When we got back to studio again to record more music, we're like, yo, but Stuck in the Middle is so good. It can't be a single. It needs to be in a body of work. Okay. We dance around with that idea. We entertain it a little. Continue recording. We record the next song, Suga. Suga's now the second song we record. Same month, August.
The one that just came out
2021.
now with the music
the one
video
that
just
dropped.
this month.
Yeah, for the June 16 tribute.
Yeah.
That was the second song. From then we knew, it's go time, dog. This is an album.
With you, Vi, I know you've had many features, and people that might be listening to this interview for the first time and recognize your name, they'll see you on features. So, having been it comes across that you're really good on features and you kill them. I know you had with Bongos that I really enjoyed with Kaji Nash. It was amazing, and it got a lot of traction.
Yeah.
So for you sitting down and as being in Vi and Hāzy and doing an album, how has that experience been for you, and how has it developed you and your capabilities?
Well, you know the saying that music is a collaborative sport. It plays along on that, because it allowed me to be in positions I wouldn't be in if I was just doing it myself. You understand? So having 2 minds is always better than one. So it basically ignited like a different type of drive. I already know that I'm VI. I do this cool, but now I need to be in a bag that even myself is gonna be like, damn, bro.
Yeah.
Like, yeah, bro. Like you doing this shit. So basically, being in studio with like an artist that Hāzy, where the chemistry is like there's nothing like it. You understand? It's like it. I don't know how to put it, but like in artistic talk, it changes like everything. It puts you on a different level in the game, in terms of, if we making a beat together, and we make this beat. Okay, cool. We made the beat now. It's time to put lyrics to it. If you understand making music, you know that that process, especially if you are looking for something, like you're not just making music just, like there's something specific you're going for. That process can be a bit like treacherous. Like,
Sure.
you could have so many ideas, but you don't feel like, man, like I hear that, I can do that, but I'm not here to. I'm trying to, take it next level.
Sure.
Push it to the next
Is
level.
that like a standard that you have every time you go into studio, that
Every
you
single time.
pushing your limits at all
Yeah,
times?
bro.
Definitely.
I can't do what I did, bro.
Can't do what you did, bro.
Every single song, bro. It's like I make sure the delivery, the flows, it's never the same. Never, like you can't say I already know. Maybe because I am me. Overall, there's a certain way that it's gonna sound because my voice is my voice and my mind is my mind. In terms of application, it's always different.
I love that, bro. And I think the reason, or just a consequence of this synergy that you two have built. I mean, this starts from, well, in my experience, back in high school, where every single break, niggas are writing. Every single break, niggas are listening to music. Every single break, niggas are thinking of a beat. Where's V.I and Hāzy? They're together, they're doing something, they're developing themselves. So that chemistry that you've built, how important is that to the quality of music that you guys are making and this quality of music of the album as well?
It's extremely important, dog.
Yeah.
It's like the 126 of the chromosomes for birthing the music. You know, it's the X chromosome for making the music. You know, the synergy, because it's so effortless, it's so organic. What's understood doesn't really need to be explained. You know? We already get it. We already know the pocket we want to be in. We know the lushness we want to come with, as far as holistically. But we can get more technical if we need to be. We can just have fun if we need to have fun. If the instrumental allows us to have fun, if the energy allows us to have fun, if it requires us to be serious, we can be serious. We can switch it up and, match the energy in the room, match the energy that the beat is evoking.
The ambiance of the room.
The ambiance of the room.
Yeah, I love that,
The way it
bro.
makes you feel. The external influences, whether it be a clean room or a dirty room, or whether there's 10 people or 2 other people.
Sure.
Because company is different.
Yeah.
Right? So yeah, dog,
Is that
I would
true?
say it's like it's a big piece of the quality of the music.
Because one thing I always say is that music is more like energy. You feel it.
Yeah.
You understand? So it's like the synergy really contributes into the feel of the music, because you yourself as a listener, you can tell how effortless it is. Not even though we do think what we do. It's not like we just
it's not like we just
but you can hear the effortlessness. Like guys have worked themselves to a point where it is this effortless. It wasn't always this effortless, you understand? I mean, in terms of talent, yes, but in terms of technicalities, it wasn't always this effortless, bro. It wasn't always this easy to just, you already know, you hit up V or you hit up Hāzy, you're gonna get a 150% verse. It wasn't always that way, even though maybe other people saw it as you've been dope, cool, but I'm talking about me as an artist myself. I haven't always seen it that way. It was always okay, I can, the same as now, I can still get better until you feel me, but I've always seen it as I can get better, I can go harder, I can be more clinical, I can be more abstract, I can be more clear.
Sure.
Like, it's like fine-tuning a radio to specific
to the
frequencies.
frequency,
Right.
I
like that
you
analogy.
can do it by luck, but also the more you do it, the better you become at it.
And patience, though. Some of the best ideas require patience. You can't rush it.
True.
So yeah, you gotta stick it through to the end.
So how patient did you gents have to be to actually establish what the release date was for this album? Because I can't imagine with the quality of music, and I'm very privileged enough to be one of the few people who have the privilege of listening to unreleased, and I'm just thinking, how is this album not coming out right now? I'm so convinced of the quality of it way before it comes out. So for you guys as the artists, how important is it for you to be patient with that process and also like systematically make that happen?
Because at the end of the day, when you do something, you want to do it right, You want to do it the way you envision it.
Yeah, precision.
And rushing things has never been the way of getting things done the way
You guys are very laid back people, so I can imagine that translates to
you
that
would
then.
see it as laid back, but I'd say observant,
Right, absolutely. Yeah.
cautious, precise.
Yes, sir.
Not laid back. It maybe comes across as laid back.
Effortlessness, as going back to the effortlessness.
That's what I'm
that
saying.
You're talking
You
about.
think I'm late, but in my
Exactly.
mind, the calculations I'm doing, you feel me? I'm doing 1,000 calculations at a time on how I want things to be done and how I want things to be. That's why it comes across as effortless, because a lot of the work is mental. You have to think it before you can even do it, bro. You can't just do things you never thought about. So when you like, you laid back, it's like, yeah, but I had to think about it, plan it, give myself room on being able to execute it. It won't be exactly the way I planned it, but I also need to make sure that I stay as precise as I want to be at the same time, but without chasing perfection. Because perfection doesn't exist. It's just precision. You understand? So
There you mentioned like three things that actually, it's in the book, 48 Laws of Power.
yeah.
And right now you mentioned planning, and there's a law that comes out there, and it says, plan it all the way to the end. You speak about effortlessness. One of the laws say that you must make it look as easy as possible.
Yeah.
So it's fascinating that you actually bring that up, and those themes come up in my head because I'm really into that stuff. But going into HereToStay now, we hear HereToStay has been released. It's an incredible day in your lives. How does it feel to be taking such a proactive role in your own come up?
Dog,
Goddamn.
there's no other choice. You need to be. You need to think for yourself. You need to execute. You need to do it. You just gotta do it. There's not much to it. You just have to do it. That's the answer.
It gives me, I'd say, what's the word I could, liberation. It goes back to what he's saying. You free yourself from the chains of society by focusing on what matters to you as a person and your goals. So it's like, goddamn, how am I trying to put this? For me, it felt like taking a weight off my shoulder, because the weight that I am now willing to carry, even though it is heavier, it is one that I am willing to carry.
Wow.
No cap.
Wow.
No cap. Please.
I
think
that's a
that's what
powerful
I'm trying to
point
say.
there, bro. And I
Yeah.
think that applies to so many things where there's just something you have to suffer for. With Stoicism, they say, just for your life's purpose should just be to suffer for something, and that's your passion. If you're willing to suffer for your passion, that's where incredible stuff happens in your life. So that's powerful that you say that. But HereToStay, the name of the album is fascinating, and for myself, when I looked at it and when I heard of the album title myself, I saw it as an affirmation, bro. You know what I mean? But is that how you thought of it? How did that wording HereToStay come up? And is it an affirmation to you? Is like sort of a manifestation? Is it a measurement of the impact that you're going to have in the next 10 to 15
all of that
years?
and
It's
more.
all of it. Yeah. When we came up with the name, we wanted something so dynamic and so broad, but yet specific. You can be specific to what you want it to be specific to. It just fits. It's like a puzzle piece. That's what this album is. It's a puzzle piece into our lives, to complete our lives, to complete that journey we're on, whether spiritual, mental, career-wise, etc. So there's a lot of things that are being taken away from us in life, in the society, and a lot of that shit is important and it should not go. Some change doesn't need to be changed. Like we don't need to fix what's not broken.
Yeah.
You know, the CDs. We'll come back to that one.
Yeah, we getting to that.
You know, that whole system
Definitely
is one of the best systems. You know, only an aspect of that was a problem. But why is that problem not being fixed? Instead, it's being avoided. And we don't realize that it's breaking the bigger system.
The bigger system.
You know? So, yeah, we'll get back to that.
Bro,
We'll
it's
speak about it
literally
more in
like,
depth,
it's like you get in a car every day. Are you conscious of what it's doing to the earth?
no.
That's literally like everything in today is basically like that. So with streaming, it's the same thing. People are in this. Let's say streaming is a web. You understand? It's convenient.
It's
But you're
convenient.
killing the lungs, though.
That's
the lungs of the artists. They can't breathe.
Can't breathe, you know?
Absolutely.
And I hate this thing of like people just selling convenience, bro. It's making us lazy. It's making us complacent. It's making us lose our thinking ability, our individual thinking ability, and that's important. You know, it's people. How often do you come across loyalty these days in a romantic partner, in a friendship, in a business relationship? You know, how often do you come across loyalty? The people you overextend yourself for, the people you valued, that maybe in their mind it wasn't a mutual perception of you, but you did what you did. Your actions portrayed that you valued this person, that you are willing to overextend yourself for this person, but they can just pull the rug on you, and it is what it is. You have to accept and move on from there, or you stay in that vacuum, that dark hole of yourself, and self-perpetuate that pain over and over again. So you see, like the type of shit it causes, dog. There's one thing, like humans can tolerate almost any pain. The one pain that really hurts humans and people is betrayal.
Yeah.
That's the one thing people cannot take. It's proven statistically. But betrayal is the one thing that people can't take.
It'll bother you.
It will
basically.
bother you.
Yeah.
You know, so HereToStay kind of speaks to that vacuum that you're in when you experience betrayal, when you experience the loss of things that are dear to you and important to you, when more nonsense is fed to you than good, you know, that whole vacuum. So,
And these are themes that sort of come across different songs in the
Exactly.
in the album,
They
so
come
you can
across.
see how deliberate you were in like really putting that message out.
For
Yeah.
sure.
you know,
Definitely.
I love that, bro. And speak about the album art because it's interesting. What could one of you just explain what's happening there and what the idea was? It seems like you're having a meal or you're playing cards. I know there were different promotion videos where it seems like you're playing cards but not another one. So it all seems very a bit of mystery to it, which adds to the whole catch of the album. So what was going on there? And was that deliberate to actually make it, you know, seem like, because there was one video as well where it was really short at that time. I think it was the first post for the V&H Enterprise Instagram account, when you're just walking to the door and then you turn around and it's V.I and Hāzy, and then the video just ends. Just that mystery behind it. Was that deliberate? And also the album art, if you just can explain that, because I think that was interesting.
So yeah, in terms of like the album art, we wanted to also like have fun in our own way, you know, like, you know, in terms of we looked at a lot of like, you know, cover arts that we love, and we're like, you know, a lot of them have that mystery to it. It's not always as obvious as it's just the picture. Okay, this is what it's about. A lot of like, I'm talking about my like favorite albums. They always have like something abstract about it. As much as it's there, you know, there's that room for, I still need you to tell me what's going on, even though it's right in front of you. Like, That's one thing that, you know, inspired us with our cover. Like, it needs to be that as soon as you see the cover, like, you can see what's going on, but you still want to say, yo, that cover though, like, what's going on? What were you thinking? Like, yo, this is crazy. Like, that's exactly what we were going for. So we came up with that whole, we mean business type of look, you feel me?
Sure. So that suspension that you a viewer has for that split second is very much deliberate from you guys' end.
Exactly. Very much deliberate.
It is. Everything about it is intentional.
Everything.
Except for some of the nuances. Like, some of the nuances are just like that's salt bay. You know,
Oh yeah.
Some of them are organic, you know, from the fund. The ones you realize later after your intent, and you're like, oh shit, it's actually in the ballpark. It actually paints the picture. It actually fits the puzzle. It actually feeds the message. You know, those realizations. So yeah, that's why it's important to leave that room, because your imagination, as you're listening, allows you to go all the lengths, other than when an album art feeds you everything about the album or about a single at that moment. You sort of lose interest, and you don't want to imagine. You're not open-minded about the experience anymore.
Exactly. Because imagine if it was just an album cover that just says HereToStay.
There's not much to it.
I think the unique thing,
just a nice font. You feel me? It's like there's more to it. You know?
Times New Roman,
that's it.
V.I Hāzy,
black background.
HereToStay.
You know, yellow stroke or something.
Yeah. So you just needed to put that innovation
so it's
in
like
it.
we had to show you that.
This
is creation, bro. We're creators. We're creatives.
I love that, and I think what makes it even more unique is that what has become rare in modern day of like actually going to Musica, for example. What happened to Musica? Going to Musica and getting your CD and touching your CD and holding it. I used to love that. I remember back in the day, my sister loved Justin Bieber. You remember Bieber Fever that came in that time. And what was his album called? New World or Worlds or something. I forgot. You might remember it if you know it. But just having that interaction with that album, I think it made me even more attached to that album. Like, I had a relationship with that album. Also because I could touch it. I could take out the track list and see all the different people that were involved. You know, that shit was like a real unique relationship I had with the music. So HereToStay being in that form just takes it to another level. So what is the reasons, if they are? What were the drivers in establishing that this album on the main is going to be a physical album in the CD format?
Man, I heard that music. I was like, there's no way, yo, I'm not putting this on Apple. I don't want this on Apple. Like that's what prompted it. It's like, this music is so good. I don't even want to approach anything about it the way I've approached any other music.
Nothing about listening to it should be convenient.
Yeah, bro.
You know?
You need to be
out of your way because it rewards you just as much.
Yeah.
You know? You have to go out of your way to hear it because it rewards you. It's that relationship that we all want, you know, that we're all searching for when you're trying to discover new music. But in the format that we are consuming it in, it doesn't allow us to have that experience. Music is no longer an experience, it's a utility now. It's not an experience anymore. It's not a part of people's lives anymore, you know. It's just a gym playlist or a commute playlist at most these days. You feel me?
It's not like, yo, dog, a moment in your life,
bro.
Exactly. The fact that I can remember going to Musica with my sister and buying a Justin Bieber album. It just shows just how intimate you can get with that music.
That tangible moment in your life, dog, that you can like remember. If you hear one of the songs again 10, 15 years down the line, you're like, oh flip, I remember when I first heard this song or this album, you know, and I got to touch it. And in your mind you're gonna remember all of
those
that
emotions.
And that those emotions it evokes in you, feel me, they're gonna rise again, and you're gonna feel that nostalgia, and it's gonna have a place in your life because it's here to stay in your life. You know,
I love that, bro. I love that.
You know, making an album is not just recording a bunch of songs and putting a cover art. It's all of this. It's the psychological aspect.
Exactly.
It's cultivating or creating that moment in someone's life timeline. You know,
Boy.
you know, that's what
100%.
is capturing that time, that moment, that
Definitely.
period in their life.
And the beauty
And the
about
beauty
it is that
about
it's
it.
an endless moment. As long as you want
Endless
to
stuff.
interact with that moment, you have the opportunity to. No one can take it from you.
Yeah, and the availability of it. No one can take that shit from you.
No one can.
You know, 1 month of not paying your 60 rand for your Spotify.
I can't listen. I can't
Charge for
listen.
your
Nice
shit.
try.
You know, but this one, dog, you have it forever. You know, your phone dies, put the CD in. There's no click, you start your car, put the CD in.
Exactly.
You know,
I love that.
Bro, you can literally grow up and give that to like your kids. Like this is what we were on. This is
This is the shit
this
we're
is
listening
music.
to, dog. Premium SA hip hop.
Premium SA hip hop.
Yeah, bro. And your
And I
kid will
think-
be like, yo,
Not that shit you
this is a
listen
CD, goddamn. Whoa.
Just the way music is going in general with the whole transformation of technology and music and blockchain and NFTs and whatnot. The fact that you are going extremely against the tide, you are going on your own path or with a few people in this industry, and you're going to still release your music as physical copies to evoke those experiences that you're speaking about. That's beautiful. But I also think that's also brave, because you were speaking on Twitter. No, I wasn't on Twitter. I was on Instagram, where recently you posted Anati's tweet. And I want to read that out because I thought that was really powerful, right? This is
Shout out
on
to
Hazy.
Anati, dog.
Yeah, because so the
You
picture,
understood.
or the tweet rather, it says, "Time for creators to take control. Sell art, not your soul." And he, unfortunately for us streamers, which is what we're going to get you, just that dilemma that we have as with streamers and our artists. I felt sad as a streamer that I can't listen to his music anymore, because there's some beautiful albums that he had. But you understand from this perspective that you guys are gonna keep elaborating on. But it says, so this is Hazy. "The looks we have been getting are so crazy as we roll out Here to Stay. All we're trying to do is sell our art by not selling our souls. It's unfair that artists don't earn a decent living or a living at all from what should be the primary resource of revenue, right? It's unfair that all these barricades have been put between artists and consumers." And I think this is the most profound part of this post. "It's unfair that the wholesalers of music make more revenue than the farmers and the manufacturers of the music."
Yeah, dog. I'm telling you, like it's not right. It's wrong. I use euphemism even on Instagram by saying it's unfair. It's wrong. It's bullshit that the wholesalers of music make more music than the farmers and the manufacturers. You know, it's Spotify and Apple are no different to a Pick and Pay, a Checkers, you know, and they have all these products on their shelves, you know. Some are farmed, some are manufactured, some both are farmed and manufactured, you know. But in this case, those farmers and those manufacturers are getting peanuts, not even half of the revenue worth billions, you know. Not even, it's a fraction of that, you know. They get a fixed amount every month from millions of people. They getting this money. Yeah, in this case, who are subscribers, you know. People who are paying 60 rand, 30 rand, 90 rand every month, they get in a fixed income. The artists are not getting an income.
So the wealth distribution in terms of streaming companies is just horrible. Is that just across the board?
Yeah, man.
across
Like,
the board.
the way streams are structured. So a stream, you have to accumulate so many, and then you either earn $1 or you earn so much in dollars, right? I'll use YouTube as an example. You need to get 128 streams to generate $1 on YouTube, you know. Whereas a sale of a single or an album, you pay that $10 it's worth, you pay that $20 it's worth, and you have it forever. But now you have to keep listening to music 128 times before you can generate $1, dog. And when you get 1 million streams or 2 million streams, it's not 2 million people listening to it. It just has 2 million streams. It's just been listened to 2 million times. It hasn't been bought 2 million times. That's the difference.
It's a big
with
difference.
A stream and a sale.
It's a big difference, because at least you know at the sale it's literally 2 million people.
Yeah.
You know it for a fact.
Even
how do you know you don't have a fan playing the same song 1,000 times a day? Bro, I meet crazy. Bro, I can see my own stats. I see people play my song 500 times. My music 500 times in a day. One person. I see it myself.
So it's 500 times.
Yeah, dog. So if you think that's just like streams at the end of the day. It's like it's not. It's like a smoke screen. Everything has.
It's a bad measuring tool. In a way.
Yeah, bro. It's like a room full of mirrors, inaccurate mirrors. You understand?
Yeah.
Basically.
Influenced by all different.
Exactly. You never see the truth.
Yeah, bro.
It shows you what it wants you to see, as much as it's a mirror.
But it's almost like it's a common theme, not only with music, but I've been listening to some podcasts where a lot of the consensus rather seems to be that streaming companies and different video series companies or production companies rather, like Netflix and whatnot, they're very reticent to give away how many views you got or how many sort of points of interaction that you got. They're very secretive with that sort of information. So you hitting it yourselves, do you feel like you can have a clear view of how you're going to bring it across?
Yeah, bro. Even as much as analytics give you data, they're still not transparent.
Yeah, you
just know how many people in what city are listening. But that's the thing. It should be. Look at it like this: a sale. We're comparing a sale and a stream, right? A sale is simply that. It's an exchange of money for a good. The music is a product. What is music when it's a stream? The music is a product when you pay on iTunes, when you pay the artist directly, But with streaming, what is it? What is music?
But what's the conflict about this is that I'm one of the people who pay 60 rand every month.
And bear in mind, we have nothing against that.
Sure,
people
sure.
spend their money how they wish.
Absolutely.
We are just highlighting a problem.
From an artist's perspective.
From an artist's perspective.
That's what I'm getting.
As someone who this is their career.
Yeah.
And it's an issue that's not really emphasized much. It's kind of ignored and swept under the rug. We turn the cheek.
You were saying just before earlier on today how the post that I just read out earlier on, those types of posts get the least amount of interaction and engagement. That's a very interesting point.
But I don't think it's necessarily that post or
that sort of theme,
that theme,
topic about
it's truth. The truth is a hard pill to take for some people. A lot of people don't have the backbone you have to just accept the truth and decipher it and decide your actions from there. To some people, truth just switches them off. So
they don't have the power to deal.
You don't have the power to deal with it. And it's social media. I'm on there to see what my crush is doing. I'm on there to imagine the next car I want to own when, I make 1 million rands or whatever, or the mansion I want to live in, or, the outfits I wish I had. We're there to fantasize. We're there to, look at the first dimension. Loiso did this dope ass thread. Loiso the one. Yeah, he did this dope ass thread on his story about the several dimensions. The first dimension is basically your mind and the possibility of what you're imagining from happening. So a lot of people spend so much time in that dimension and there's no action to it, so it doesn't get to progress through different dimensions and it becoming a reality, the fifth dimension. So that's what social media is. That's what Instagram is selling you. That first dimension, that this house.
You
this
look at it
body.
enough, you might just have it.
You might just have it.
That's literally what they selling you,
For
bro.
real,
I'm gonna
that's what
look
they
at this
selling
shit
you.
enough and might just have it.
So no one gives two shits about this little upcoming rapper complaining, giving game about CDs and shit, and an album, of essay rap.
Right. That's the average person.
Yeah, that's the general demographic. But the people who are really engaging with our content, engage with it. No worry. That's how we know who's here to stay, who's the real ones. It's gonna come up a lot because dog.
It slips in everywhere.
It's here to
stay.
stay. It's here to
Yeah.
stay. It's that puzzle, like I said in the beginning.
Wow.
One thing in the world, bro, that you can do to try and make it better is to spark that conversation, build room for that conversation.
Yeah.
That's one way. If you get into minds, change perspectives. So in many ways, this album is the space. It's the thing. It's the tool.
Yeah.
It's the microphone. It's the whatever. In that will allow people to be like, but damn, I hear you. Yeah. This does make sense. Why are we actually so accustomed to doing that bullshit?
So you feel like this album is almost facilitating that conversation?
Yeah.
What it's doing. That's one of its roles.
Yeah.
It's a mind opener. There's certain perspectives you will never ever see or think of unless you engage with one person.
Exactly.
It could be a random person, could be a homie, could be a lover, whatever. But you always need a different perspective in life.
Word.
And that's why we try our best as individual thinkers. We try our best to think of the most possible scenarios, the different perspectives.
Different
and then
perspectives.
Make your decisions.
If you look at the album
from
itself, like the album itself, with the art that's on it, and different perspectives on its own, that play there. If anyone noticed, well, they don't. If you ever take the album and look at it, the different perspectives, the front to the back, it's all like I said, intentional. We thought about. Hey man.
As you said, you planned it all the way to the end. Just the attention to detail to every single move, every single thing that you be doing is amazing.